Hi, this is Owen Thornton, and this is my vblog, which corresponds with my weblog at Ontario Crafts, all one word, .wordpress.com. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a really great place that I have rediscovered, I guess I would say, called Forked River. Forked River is at 45 Pacific Court. It's on the east side of the city of London off of Clark Side Road. And there are three owners there, and I'm going to get the names here for you. It is Dave Reed, Andrew Peters, and Steve Nazarian. These three gentlemen have created for themselves a really terrific little brewery. I shouldn't say little. When I first went there some time ago, it was basically there was no tasting area. There was a bar and there was a refrigerator there, and you could purchase products there and do a little tasting quickly. The little tasting is very quickly there, I believe, but mostly just sort of a retail operation. When I went back recently, and I've now been there twice in the last little while because I have discovered some great beer there. They have purchased extra space. Now, if you've been reading my blog, you'll know that I have talked about where breweries are located, and some are more about being in a location where people can come and have a friendly pint. Some are more in an industrial area, sort of in those kinds of buildings. Have you ever been there, where there's a series of doorways and people are operating businesses out of them? And this is where this sort of industrial look is where Forked River is. However, they opened up this great area for a tasting area and a spot for terrific gear, by the way, which I really love. And this is a really wonderful spot. I'm going to show you a picture both of the facility outside the doorway, just sort of getting a nice sense of what you look for from the street, and then I'm going to show you a picture of where you do the tasting, and I'll show you another picture of just sort of the gear rack, and I'll also show you a fourth picture of sort of their fridge area, so you can sort of get a sense of where you can go to purchase things while you're there. I have found this is an amazing location. They've been open since 2012. So they're kind of like the grand masters of the city, because most other breweries, microbreweries in the city would be younger than them. They have on their website 72 beers, and when I went there and bought a host of different kinds of products, two of the ones that I came home with weren't on their website. So they have a great variance of beer. Now, the cautionary tale here is that not all 72 beers are going to be there at any one time. You will find a host of different kinds of things, perhaps light beers, perhaps dark beers. Certainly you're going to see something from the sour beer area. And they do, let me see, get this term right now, they do milkshake sours. Now, milkshake sours are interesting in that they put lactose in with the sour beer. And that gives it a rich, kind of creamy texture to it. And the lactose is also a bit of sweetness. So the sours, when you do things in the milkshake realm, as Forked River does, are not quite as tart as other sours would be. Certainly they have that little twinge at the end where you go, oh, that's really sharp, that's tart. But it has a more creamier taste to it, and I like those better than the straight sours that don't have the lactose in them. It certainly reaches my palate better. Some of the beers that I've enjoyed there very much, Forktoberfest was great. They also have some terrific names. They had a stout cherry sour called DeForest Kelly, which is a play, of course, on the name of, or no, Reforest Kelly is the name. It's a play on DeForest Kelly, who played Bones in the original Star Trek in 1967. So clearly these guys are a bit geeks, a bit of a geek crowd in the fact that they know there's science fiction. They also do something, a tribute to Mel Brooks. Their dark beer is called Liquid Schwartz. It's phenomenal. I really like that beer, and I don't often buy multiples of beer when I go anywhere to taste things. Sometimes I don't even go back to places because there's just so much beer out there, so many different things to drink, so many different things to test and consume, partly for you, partly for me, that I don't go back. But I have been back already, and Liquid Schwartz would be one where I would buy multiple beers. I really like that beer. So they've done a great job. And I would say that, and they've got this beautiful tasting area that would be fun to sit down and have a brew with friends. The funny thing is that it's very rustic on the inside, and yet it's in this industrial complex on the outside. So it doesn't look like much on the outside, but when you go inside, it's kind of this kind of warm feeling to it. So you might really like to go there and do a flight and try things. I have to say that regardless of what they would have on tap for you at the time that you were there has to be something. There just has to be something by the sheer innovativeness of the number of different kinds of beer they would have there at any one time. Has to be something that you would like when you were there. And if you went for the crowd, there's got to be something for everybody there that you would really, really enjoy. So I would go sit for a spell, have a designated driver, get a flight of beers, try something exotic, try something different, try things that are right in your palate wheel to see what kinds of things you would like, and have that sampling of four, that flight of four, and then sit down and make sure that you have one or two of the things that you liked best out of that flight. You're going to enjoy yourselves. This is a great place. As I said, very innovative. Probably the most innovative brewery I have seen so far in my travels. I have never seen anybody with as many different kinds of products as this place has. And upcoming in 2021, the friendly staff there, then they've been terrific every time I've been there. The friendly staff have told me that there are new beers coming out this year that have never been produced before, and this staff person said she'd been there for 4 years and worked there for a long time, and that there were beers that Forked River has produced ages ago that have not been produced in the time period she has been there, that are on tap or are in the barrel ready to come out so for this year. So 2021 looks to be a really promising year for Forked River as far as innovative brews, old brews, new brews, things that have been established. You're going to want to go there. You're going to have a great time when you get there, and you're going to leave with probably gear, and you're probably going to leave with at least 8 beers or more when you go home, so that you can have the experience repeated when you go home, and remember fondly your visit to Forked River here in London at 45 Pacific Court. So thank you very much. This is Owen Thornton checking out for this vlog here, and don't forget to go to my web blog, because there are more articles there than I cover here on my vlog at ontariocrafts.wordpress.com. Take care. Bye for now.